how you doing? My name is Ybarra Jr. I'm an artist from here in Los Angeles, specifically from a little neighborhood down in the port called Wilmington, California. And I have free shirts. They cost about, I don't know, they're not free 90 free, they actually cost something. I came with a bunch of slides today to talk to you about like my practice and what I do and all that kind of stuff, but I think you could find that all on Google somewhere or my Facebook page or follow me on Instagram. But I think what I wanted to kind of start off with is a kind of pedagogical approach that running a studio in the neighborhood I grew up in, Slanguage Studio, there's a slide up there. My wife and I have been running this place for a while. And we developed these kind of 6 points, these pedagogical points to kind of troubleshooting the art process, troubleshooting art making, etc. So I'm gonna take you back to grade school, all of you that were raised here in the United States. I know we have a lot of people visiting from other places or have lived here now. But in grade school, what would you do about at the end of the month next year, right? You'd celebrate Thanksgiving. And in every third grade classroom, you'd make this drawing. So I want everybody to take out their sheets of paper. I know you all have them, or the back of their, whatever they have on the back of their hand. And I want you to put your hand down on the sheet of paper, and I want you to trace it like you would you'd be tracing and drawing a turkey in third grade, right? Did all of you guys get to draw a turkey in third grade? All right, well, you guys are past third grade now, but you're gonna be drawing this turkey. All right, I'll give you a minute to draw the turkey. All right. There'll be 6 points to developing like a common language. And some of you guys are in my class, so bear with me. You've heard this one before. And these 6 points are gonna be fundamental in developing a vocabulary, and you're gonna hear some repeat words from the panel that we had earlier. Most of the artists that will be talking, when you're in art school or going through art history class, you'll hear these 6 words. They're kind of buzzwords, and they're like direct key words into an art world experience. Okay, you ready? So in the first finger, I want you to write the word intent. Everybody, intent. Repeat after me, intent. Intent. First finger, thumb, whatever, however you want to do it. Thumb, either way, that don't matter. Okay, intent. I'm gonna give you an example of intent. It's your mother's birthday, you really love her, you want to make her a cake. This is your intentionality, right? Make her a cake. Everybody with me? Intent, repeat after me, 1, 2, 3. Intent. Awesome, all right. On the second finger, I want you to write the word content. Everybody repeat after me, content. All right, content. Your mom really likes chocolate, strawberries, and whipped cream. This will be the content of this cake. Content. All right? All right, got that written down? On the third, okay, on the third finger, I want you to write the word context. Everybody, context? Context. Okay, your sister made your mother a cake that everybody's been talking about all year. Oh, that cake that Becky made Mary was the best cake ever. Oh my God, when are you gonna make that cake, right? Your cake that you're making this year will be made in relationship or in context to Mary's cake. All right? Number 4, everybody on number 4 now? Write down the word production. Repeat after me, production. Production. You know, a lot of you guys are students, so your debit card is overdrawn, right? You might have an EBT card depending on where you shop, but you need a budget, right? In production, you need a budget. You need some kind of money to go to that specialty farmer's market that sells those organic strawberries picked by, you know, whoever picked them properly, right? You need that. You need that chocolate, right? You need that chocolate, right? You need the money to go to the 99-cent store and buy those, you know, fancy chocolate bars. You need that whipped cream, right? You need to go to Value Plus or Food for Less or Whole Foods or wherever, Sprouts, and get that whipped cream, right? You need a budget. You need a way to pay for those things. You need tools, right? Within this production, you need tools. You need an oven. You need, that bun form cake thing, right? You need all these things to make the production of this cake. So you need tools. And then thirdly, you might need help, a helping hand, because at that specific moment when that turned upside down cake needs to come out and you flip it, you need other hands to help you turn it around, right? You need tools and you need help. So under production, you need a budget, you need tools, and you need help, right? So that's number 4, okay? To make the cake. Okay, everybody, we're on number 5 now, right? Everybody ready for number 5? I want you to write distribution. Distribution. Everybody repeat after me, distribution. Okay, how are you gonna distribute this cake, right? Are you gonna invite people with the Dora Explorer cards that you saved from your niece's or nephew's birthday party? Are you gonna evite them on Facebook? Your grandma doesn't use Facebook and your sisters are fighting, so they're not friends on Facebook, so how are you gonna get them there, right? All right, so how are you gonna invite people? How are you gonna serve the cakes? You know, those Spider-Man plates that you had left over from your nephew's party aren't gonna work this time, right? Are you gonna use fine china? Are you gonna use forks, sporks? How is this thing gonna be served? Where is it gonna be served? You know, is it gonna be at your apartment? You never clean it. You don't want your mom there, right? Your bong is out on the dining room table. You don't want her to see that. How are you gonna serve her this cake? Are you gonna have it at the, where is it gonna be at? Is it gonna be at the park? Where is it gonna be? So distribution, you need a formal way of inviting people to it. You need a way of serving it, and you need a way of getting it to the people, right? Where is it gonna be at? And that needs to be clear. So let's repeat the first 5 again. So number 1 is what? Number 2 is what? Content. Number 3 is what? Content. Number 4? Production. And then number 5? Okay, and then this gets to a question that I heard some of y'all having today. And the final one that you could put in the palm, unless you have a 6th finger, you can put in the 6th finger. But we'll go to the palm. And the palm, I want you to write the word documentation. Documentation. And back to this cake, okay, who is gonna post the picture on Flickr to show your sister that your cake was better than hers last year? Huh? Who's gonna make the video and upload it to YouTube, or if you're artsy, Vimeo, a high HD version, right? Who's gonna have that information so that you could one-up your sister, right? So documentation is important. And documentation serves 2 purposes. One, to be proof that you upped your sister. And the second one is to give you a boost or a platform into your next cake, right? Because your aunt will be like, oh my God, Mary, that cake you made, your mom this year was much better than Becky's, and I want to commission you to make the next cake for my kid's birthday party, right? So it serves 2 functions. It serves as proof, and it serves as a platform into your next venture. So those of you that were talking about, portfolios, et cetera, it's really relevant that, the proof is in the picture or in the cake. And then, okay, so there's other things. I could prove to you that I make art. My wife and I have been running this storefront space in Wilmington for about 10 years. We've been on kind of hiatus for the past 1 year because 10 years was a lot. And in that time frame, we were able to develop education programming, develop exhibition programming, develop panels, artists in residencies, a whole slew of things we were able to develop out of this space. So I wanted to kind of show you what that kind of looks like. And then also to show you that you don't necessarily have to make a kind of delineating choice in relationship to like the type of artist that you want to kind of be. Like I think I signed up to be an artist because I wanted to do everything, right? And I think doing everything is really important for me. So to be able to function in a way that's creating a DIY art space in my neighborhood works in tandem with me doing kind of big art installations in museums and galleries, all over the United States and in Europe and et cetera, et cetera. So there is a kind of balance that can be struck. And I think in generations past, there was a delineated decision-making point that students would have to come to. Like, am I gonna be a community-based artist, or am I gonna be an artist with the capital, quote unquote, A. And I don't think today we're kind of a little bit past that. And I think that artists are showing kind of hybrid models of how to operate in all these worlds simultaneously. These are installations that are at the Serpentine Gallery in London, the Tate Modern, the Whitney Biennial, the Chicago Art Institute, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't want to go into each one of these projects, but I just want to show you that there is a kind of tandemness or kind of multiplicity that artists could have today. You know, and there a lot of narrative kind of goes into my work, but like again, those are things that you could kind of see online. But and like today, like you know, Rodney, like with the diversity of this audience today, it's really important that art reaches that point and that we model that point. I think the title of this conference, like ReMODEL, is really not necessarily on our students' shoulders, but on the people that are actually teaching in the classrooms. And the idea to model something for somebody supersedes any kind of you know, technical A plus B equals C equations that we could give in the classrooms. And it reminds me of this story of George Washington that I had read in his biography, where in his time, there was no paparazzo, there was no TMZ, there was no like Instagramming or repeat pattern red carpet places to take photographs. In his time, what he would do, he'd had this moment where he wrote about it being the pause, right? And the pause was, in his time, he would walk, if he would go into like a big social gala or some kind of political event, he would walk to the top of the steps and pause, literally. So he would like, I'm gonna do it for you, all right? To model for you is what we need to be doing. That's our jobs. For you guys to show up on time and be super engaged in what you're doing on the student's position, because we've been talking a lot about like what we're responsible for, but the thing is it's reciprocal. Like if you come in with the type of enthusiasm as students and are really engaged in the material, you'll be able to do all kinds of things. And I just wanted to say one last thing about the idea of mastery. And when I got my Master's of Fine Arts degree, I didn't think that MFA title was enough. What I took the MFA to be was to become a motherfucking artist. And I'll talk to you guys later.